Hello, Jay. It's Steve. I hope that you had a great weekend, and I wanted to welcome you to week number 4. Yes, we are already halfway through the session. Hard to believe. Our theme for week number 4 that we're going to try to really focus on is challenge and growth. So I'm going to take a moment right now to provide some perspectives on this topic and how you can use this topic and apply it to your internship experience. So, my experience in working with interns, and I have worked with a lot of them over the years, is that there's a natural tendency for, I would say, not just interns, but humans in general to engage in what I would refer to as challenge avoidance. So, we, of course, tend to gravitate towards the things that we enjoy, the things that we're good at. We like to be in a position of comfort. We don't like uncomfortableness or uncomfortability. So we tend to gear ourselves towards situations, experiences, and tasks that really kind of feed into those comfort zones that we have. So my challenge to you for the rest of your internship, particularly this week, is to try to think about this topic. Are there ways that you might be engaging in challenge avoidance? And how can you effectively manage that or work through that? So I've listed here a couple of the focal points of challenge avoidance. I've kind of already mentioned them. The desire to focus on good feelings. So we sometimes forget that true challenge, there has to be some uncomfortableness really when you really think about growth. There has to be something we're doing outside of our comfort zone that causes us to grow and develop and not reach a plateau. So that's kind of my challenge to you, is to not reach a plateau in this experience, to continue to take on some new projects, continue to talk to John about any new projects you might be able to engage in that can further challenge yourself and your graphic design skills. I have listed here on this infographic, I may have shared this already with you, but if I have, I apologize. But these are some of the common challenges that interns will experience throughout their internship. So they can, as you see here, they can involve relationship challenges, task challenges, the quantity of work, the level of challenge of the work. I think an important one to really highlight is number 4 there, the balancing the needs of what you need to accomplish as an experiential learner and what is your host hoping to accomplish through you, through your work, through your skills, through your efforts. So making sure that, not to sound selfish, but we want to make sure there is that balance there, that yes, you have a direct role as an intern working with the Franco-American Center, but what is it that you're looking to get out of this experience? And you can refer, of course, back to your learning contract that has your learning objectives stated, thinking about, again, the different aspects of graphic design that maybe you haven't had the opportunity to explore yet, that you want to try to gain some experience with. So I ask that you just think about some of these challenges. The reason I'm presenting this to you is so that you might say to yourself, well, I don't have any challenges. Well, we want you to have a challenge. So here are some examples again of common internship categories of challenges. So if you're saying to yourself, I'm not really feeling like I'm being challenged in this experience, I encourage you to really look at this infographic and see if you can engage or develop a challenge for yourself, as silly as that sounds, that's going to help you further your personal and professional development. So, not to go all psychology on you, but challenges really there is that cause and effect. So challenges, there's a strong correlation between challenge and growth. And then I've listed three, what I would refer to as character strengths here: resilience, grit, and perseverance, that not only are going to be helpful to you in this internship, but are going to be helpful to you in life and your future career path in graphic and web design. So we're talking about resilience. We're meaning, of course, bouncing back from a setback. So being able to, when you're confronted with a challenge and you have a setback related to trying to work through that challenge, being able to bounce back from that setback and engage in effective problem solving or engaging in some critical thinking that's going to help you work through that challenge or work through that obstacle. Grit is really when we're faced with adversity and we're not expecting the adversity, or it could be an unanticipated situation that comes up in your internship and you have to respond to that adversity. Right now, you know, obviously you could use the pandemic as a good example of adversity for a lot of people, and maybe so for yourself. So having that grit and that kind of mental, I guess, toughness sort of is important. And then finally, perseverance. So the ability to keep your goals moving forward, to keep progressing with your goals, despite maybe a series of obstacles that might get in the way. And that's what perseverance is. So not taking your eye off those learning objectives that you developed when you were organizing this internship. Really resorting back to that and making sure that you are persevering in terms of your progress towards fulfilling those goals and objectives. So you have to ask the question, is growth really occurring for you in this internship, in this experience? And I've identified some of the ways growth can be measured below, or I guess the ways you can identify growth. So if you see yourself, for example, developing some new perspectives on your field of study, that, of course, is growth. If you see or realize that you are acquiring a new knowledge base in a particular area of graphic design, that is growth. If you're finding that you are forming your professional identity, so that kind of relates to the values clarification that I also have listed there, so that you're learning what it means to be a professional. You may have already had some professional roles in your life, so that might be easier for you to form, but realizing what are the professional values that are tied to the graphic, to my field of study, to graphic design. What are the professional identities that really drive the graphic design field, working with clients and things like that. Self-development and competence. You know, I think I might have, can't remember, but we might have talked about the developmental stages of an internship experience, and one of those is the competency stage, and that kind of feeds into the self-development and confidence. So we want you to develop yourself, your personal self, not just your professional self. And self-development is really leadership development as well. So we want you to hopefully through this experience also be developing some leadership skills related to your field that you will be able to apply to your future career trajectory. And then we talk a little bit about change, and change is so important in an internship. So we want to make sure that there is some transformation occurring for you in your internship. So looking at some of the things we already talked about, the being able to adopt some new challenges, seeking out some new projects that maybe have a different twist to them or different flavor, becoming faithful in yourself, trusting your instincts, having that inner strength to really persevere and move forward. And that last one there kind of ties in the professional identity that we just mentioned, becoming more comfortable and open communication with your host site supervisor. So we want you to also be engaging in some of those professional discussions with John to practice that professional dialogue, to practice that professional communication as much as possible. Just a plug in for our week number 4 learning event is going to be another update on your internship. So try to get a little bit innovative with this update and maybe discuss a challenge that you're experiencing and apply some of the concepts that I've discussed in this short tutorial. Think about how the challenge is inspiring you. Think about how it is maybe promoting or helping you develop resilience? How is the challenge helping you to develop new skill sets? How does the challenge relate to your learning objectives? There's so many different perspectives that you can take when you are writing about your internship experience. There also will be a discussion as well for week number 4. I'll be responding to your discussion, so I'm gonna you can consider me kind of like a classmate too in this course, even though I'm the instructor, since we don't have any peers for you in the course. I'm going to try to do my best to always be responding to your discussion posts and getting some dialogue happening. So if my discussion reply to you has some questions in it, do your best to try to think about those questions critically and respond when you can. So thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope your week number 4 gets off to a great start. Take care.